Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CDL podcast channel. In this episode today, we are going to be talking patch notes, map set, tournaments coming up, new CDL formats, just all kinds of weird, crazy news. Not a whole lot to get into today, so we're just going to probably keep it as a shorter episode and just talk strictly about news. Excited to get into all that. Talk about Brock and I's camo grind, all that good stuff. Game's been out for a little bit. We're diving into it. We're learning more about the game. We're going for dark matter, all that good stuff. If you guys enjoy this one, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. If you're on the audio platforms, drop a follow, drop a 5-star review. Brock, how you doing today?
Oh, doing doing well. Camel grind, here and there, trying to get dark matter as fast as I can.
Yeah, it's a grind.
Definitely is
Uh,
the grind.
It's a grind every year, but there are certain weapons like I've gone about it different this year. We'll talk about actually. How about we start with our camo grind?
Yep.
I mean, it's a grind. Obviously, the headshots are a lot. Nuketown helps a lot having just that constant map that we know that you get a lot of engagements on. But like, I've done it a little different this year. That's why the grind has felt so much harder for me as well. Is because usually I don't know. I just like start off. I'm like, okay, here are the ARs. Run through the ARs. Run through the subs, and then like I go to all like the worst weapons. But this year I started out. I did like the first 4 ARs like insanely quickly. Like it takes no time because obviously those guns are really good. Um, and then I switched and went to like the melees. So far I have diamond launchers, diamond melees, diamond shotguns, diamond pistols, and I'm working on like marksman rifles, and I have like the 4 gold ARs. But I've kind of done it backwards. I'm going for all like the worst weapons, like the secondaries and like shotguns, and I'm probably gonna do snipers soon. I'm going for all those diamond first. So then like at the end I just have ARs and subs, which are like the easiest thing.
Yeah. That's kind of like what I started to do after a little bit of time. I started doing the baseball bat. Had a tough time for a little bit there. Got through it, and kind of like you said, did the launchers. Got that surprisingly done fairly quick, I would say.
Yeah, you got unlucky with the baseball bat as well because I didn't realize like why you're having such a tough time compared to what we did, but you did it like right after the kills for like diamond or whatever got patched, like the 3 kills in a row.
Yeah.
So like I did that, and then when that was glitched early on, when I was just like I got like 20 kills in a game and it said I was done with it. Like it definitely was not counting correctly. I definitely did not have 10 streaks with it. So I didn't realize why you were struggling as much with it, and I forgot it was glitched when I did it. That's why it seemed so easy for me. But you were actually doing it when you actually had to get legit 3 streaks, which is not as fun.
Yeah, definitely not as fun, especially core to two hit.
Yeah, I am
And
not looking forward. Yeah, the 2 hit, and then obviously you die super quick in hardcore.
yeah, and I felt like I was just playing kids. I was just using like OP guns, and it's just for a while there, for a couple hours, it was just not a fun time.
Yeah, I am not looking forward to when I have to go back for the dark matter challenges and get a triple kills with the bat are not easy. And then the dark matter challenges, bloodthirsties with that bat are going to be brutal.
Yeah, that's definitely a grind in itself, and like you said, definitely not looking forward to that. Probably will. Might do it first because just try to get out the way.
Yeah, I honestly might just bail out and do like if they release another AR, I might just bail out and do one of the ARs instead of doing the bat again. That's how like I might just chicken out on it.
Yeah, honestly, not a bad idea because the bat is just brutal. It's just not a fun time when you use the bat.
Yeah, like all the other weapons is like okay. I don't really like using a shotgun either, but like sniping's fun. Like using the ARs and the subs is fun. Maybe trying out the LMGs a little bit. Even I actually somewhat enjoy doing the pistols in hardcore. Like
Yeah.
it's actually kind of fun to do. But yeah, there are like the baseball bat is just brutal. It's not even like fun to do. I actually don't mind using the knife. The knife is kind of fun.
The knife's fine, just the badge is
The
it's
2 hit and it swings slow.
yeah, it has like no range.
Yeah, you have to like actually like you don't get like a little bit of you don't get as much of like a lunge as you do with the knife. It feels like I feel like it's probably the same. It just doesn't feel like it.
Yeah. It's just, just tough sometimes, but dark matter grind, trying to get it done. Hopefully that'll be done before so-called season one or if rank play drops, that'll be a tough
Yeah,
debate and
November. They haven't
on
said
what
anything about rank play dropping on November 14th, like when season one comes out. Some people were saying that, but I swear, like the whole time I've seen it's coming in like a mid season update during season one.
yeah.
So I think we might have till like into December until rank comes out.
Yeah. Hopefully, because Trying to get dark meta this year, and if rank play comes up, I'm just not gonna want to do dark meta. Just play rank play all the time.
Yeah, pretty much same for me. Unless I'm like on by myself or something. Like if we have our friends on, I'm just gonna want to be playing ranked because ranked is my thing.
Yeah.
Um, Kesan announced a tournament that's like all of a sudden happening like this weekend. It's happening on the 9th, which is Saturday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Saturday. Kesan announced a tournament, which is sick. It seems like it's partnered with Call of Duty. Obviously, like in order to get like permission for these tournaments, they have to like partner with Activision and like get the okay from Activision. And Activision usually helps to provide like a prize pool and stuff, or like helps with the prize pool with sponsorships or something, I believe. But Kson announced a tournament where it's a LAN in LA, and it is like legit pro teams. It's going to be streamed on his Twitch as well as the Call of Duty YouTube. And it's OpTic, Faze, C9, and LAT attending with their full rosters. So, Dashy, Kenny, shottzyy, and Pred for OpTic, the Faze boys from last year, Celium, Draza, and the Tiny Terrors.
Hmm.
LAT with the new Scrap Ghosty, uh, Envoy, and Hydra roster. And then the C9 boys with Sib, Mac, Attach, and why am I blanking on their fourth? Yeah, Kremp. So I mean, obviously C9 the underdog in this one,
Yep,
being
definitely.
with the three big dogs, but they should be at least like a competitive team, especially early in the game when teams don't know it as well. Like that's a team that's got some shooters on. Like they still should be pretty competitive. Excited to see Mac
Yep.
on land for the first time in a while, but like a super fun event. Like these online events, mixing up the teams, like they're fun, but like this is a little bit more serious. Like we actually get to like see. I mean, I know it's early. Metas are going to change. Maps might even change. Like a lot of things can change, but it's kind of fun that we get to see, these teams play some legit matches on LAN against each other, and we kind of get to see what they look like. We get to see what LAT looks like, you know, on a LAN stage against some of these other teams with their new roster. We get to see what the new C9 roster looks like. We get to kind of like get an early look at who looks the best early on, and it's somewhat. I mean, it's like a month out from the season because the season's supposed to start in early December.
Yep. It's definitely cool to see, and like you said, we can kind of gauge on how teams play early season. And I wonder if they are reached out to other teams and they said they couldn't get all their players to
Yeah, I'm
agree.
wondering. I agree. I don't know. It is interesting. I'm wondering because like I'm sure Kason would have liked to have as many teams as possible, but I'm wondering
Yeah,
if the CDL didn't want too many teams there because they didn't want it to be like a legit tournament.
like that could be it.
I'm wondering if it's something like that. I'm also wondering if certain teams. Obviously, like we know there are a lot of teams that are like a lot cheaper. I wonder if maybe some of those teams didn't want to like have to pay to fly their teams out to LA and stuff.
Hmm.
'Cause obviously a lot of teams are based in Texas or like other areas, so they would have to fly their teams out to LA, pay all the travel expenses, pay for the stay, all that. So there are maybe teams which we can't really bash them because like it's an off-season tournament they're not required to go to. Like maybe teams are on a big budget, like spending a bunch of money on travel for a tournament they don't need to attend. I can see why maybe they wouldn't, but yeah, it would be awesome if there were more teams. But I'm not going to complain about the fact that we're getting this tournament. This is an awesome tournament that Kason's throwing on.
Yeah, definitely excited to tune into this and see how every team does. And we talk about it on the podcast next Monday.
Yeah. Who do you think is going to take it? I believe I haven't seen like a format unless I missed it, but I think it's just going to be best of fives. Probably like the standard
Yeah,
maps. Although like I don't know how much they've been scrimming controller if they have the maps figured out, so maybe there's a chance it's just hard point and search. Um,
probably.
'Cause I don't know how much they've been scrimming controller if they have the maps like figured out. But Brock, who do you have taking it?
Oh man, who do I have taken? This is a tough. Well, I'm just gonna have the odd team out as C9. Probably not gonna take it.
I think they're in fourth.
I think they're in fourth.
Yeah.
Man, I really want to go with the LAT team that just formed, but I think I'm gonna go with the Faze boys.
You think so?
I think I'm gonna go Faze versus LAT in the final.
Okay, so we aren't the exact same then. I think FaZe is going to win as well. Uh, they've obviously FaZe and OpTic have the advantage of continuity. Those two are returning their rosters from last year.
Hmm.
So obviously FaZe and OpTic have a bit of an advantage there. You could say maybe LAT and C9 have the honeymoon period. Um, I just think, yeah, I think Faze is gonna win. They're always the safest bet. Like, if you ever want to go for any team winning any tournament, even though Faze tend to struggle a lot in finals and lose a lot of finals, they're always the safest bet because they're the team most consistently in the final. So you always know your pick's probably going to be alive in the final to win it. Now, granted, they don't win a lot of them; they lose a lot more than they win, but at least they're there and have you have a chance to get it right on that Sunday.
Yeah, definitely.
I think I'm gonna agree with you though. I'm gonna go Faze. I think they're gonna play OpTic in the final though.
Okay.
I
I
think
I,
we're
I
gonna
could definitely see it.
I think we're going to see those two teams just with the continuity and playing together. Like there's a little more chemistry there. I think those two teams are going to end up making it to the final. I think Faze is going to take out OpTic. I think LAT will finish third, C9 and last. I mean, C9 basically everybody is going to say they're going to finish last in this tournament. So if they come out and show us something and don't finish last, it'll be like, okay, C9, like you took out one of our expected top three teams. Uh, that being said, I won't be
Mhm.
shocked at all if LAT won or OpTic won. The only way I'll be shocked is if C9 wins it.
Yeah.
That's the only way I'll be shocked. Like, if you tell me, okay, LAT won, I'm like, yeah, they just gelled faster than I thought they'd gel, and yeah, they're here. Like, the team is unlimited talent. I wouldn't be shocked at all to
Yep.
see that.
And I wonder, is it single elimination or is it
I
double elimination? I wonder.
believe it's single elim. I'm trying to go find it here. Let me see.
I don't think it said
Um,
on Kesan's tweet.
let's see. He tweeted full teams, the organizations wasn't easy, but here we are going all out for this. Buckle up. Um, it is. Yeah, it doesn't say unless he tweeted it somewhere else and I missed it. It doesn't say. It just says like where you can watch it and stuff. An interesting thing that I didn't notice before. I wonder if this is how they got the permission for the full teams is because it doesn't seem like it's technically CDL teams. Like you know what I mean? They have them listed as Phase, Optic Gaming, 100 Thieves, and Cloud9.
That is true.
I'm wondering if that was like a little loophole for Call of Duty and Activision to like let him run it with the full teams is that they weren't called Atlanta Phase, Optic Texas, LA Thieves, and New York Cloud9. I wonder if that's maybe a little like loophole they used to kind of get out of that.
I mean, yeah, probably. And now you're saying that. I'm probably thinking that.
Yeah, I didn't really notice that before when I read the tweet. I kind of just like saw the teams and assumed it was their CDL names, but that doesn't make a difference in terms of legality.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. Same here. Should be fun.
Or were you going to say something else?
No, I was just gonna say I can't find if it was single or double elimination either.
I'm I don't know. I'm gonna guess since it's only four teams and it's maybe like a double elim. Like if Optic and Phase are playing first round, C9 and LAT are playing first round. Like the two winners play each other, and then the winner of that next match gets to finals. And then like the two losers of the first round go play each other. Losers eliminated, then the loser. Like how bracket works. Everyone.
Yeah.
Like I'm assuming it's going to be like a little double elimination since it's only four teams. 'Cause if it was single elim, it would literally be three matches. There'd be the two semifinal matches and the two teams that win would play in a finals. So I mean, maybe it's single elim, but I would guess since they're just running it one day, I would think it's going to be like a double elim because that would leave for what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches. The two first, then the losers would play. Winners play, the losers of that one play. Yeah, so like 6 matches with finals.
Hmm. Yeah.
I would think that's how they'll work it probably.
Yep. Well, most likely.
All right, Brock. Then we got this new announcement for a format with minors for the CDL.
That
It's
is,
interesting because there are some good ideas and thoughts behind it, but the way it's being executed, I don't know if it's the best.
yeah. I just don't.
So,
First
yeah.
off, I don't get why it's only for majors 1 and 2.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. So I'll go through. I'll read like the post from Breaking Point, that talks about it a bit more. So the minor tournament system. Let's start with minors. It says here, minors will be a new addition to the CDL season. The goal of these is to bring different CDL content that builds engagement and enhances competition for both players and fans. To start with. These are only set for majors 1 and 2, but if all is well, the plan is for them to carry on during the whole season. All 12 teams will be involved in these minors in a single elimination bracket. As for seeding, minor one will be seeded by standings after the December qualifier matches, which will be the same qualifier matches as in past seasons. Minor 2 will be seeded using the Major 1 standings. The format for a set weekend would be round 1 Friday, round 2 Saturday, semifinals on Sunday, and grand finals on Sunday. What's on the line for these minors? Firstly, CDL points for the race to playoffs, and then a cash prize for the winner. Below is a breakdown of the prize pool. First gets 30 CDL points, second 20, third 10, and fourth 5. Obviously, the other 8 teams nothing. The winner also receives 20K. Overall match breakdown for the year: 246 matches, 160 online, 72 at the majors, 14 for the postseason, and then obviously the locations: Major 1, Barcelona host; Major 2, Allen, Texas, OpTic host; Major 3, Florida, Miami host; Major 4, Chicago with an unconfirmed host; and then champs in Toronto with Toronto hosting that as well. A lot to unpack there, Brock. Also, it says CDL League Pack on Black Ops 6 will be dropping November 4th, while the CDL team bundles are currently planned for January 7th. A lot to unpack there, Brock. Let's go kind of like step by step. Obviously, it's a lot to like give your thoughts and everything. So, starting with minors, new addition to the season, different content. I love that. I love the idea that they're trying to bring in new
Mhm.
stuff. We can't complain about them having stale online matches and then just completely bash when they try to bring new things in.
Yep.
So I love that the CDL is trying to innovate, trying to bring new stuff. I don't think the minor tournament system is a bad idea. I'll pick apart some of the things I don't like and like, and let's see if you agree. So it says here to start with, these are only set for majors 1 and 2, but if all is well, the plan is for them to carry on during the whole season. So I don't like that start already. They're like basically saying like, we have this new idea. We don't really know if it's good or not. We're gonna test it a couple times and then like back out in the middle of the year if we don't like it. I don't love that idea because it sets this weird precedent that like, oh, you have these minors for major 1 and major 2, but then if you just take them out, like what if somebody goes back to back? Like what if some like bad team just has some good online weeks and wins like 60 points off this?
Mhm.
And then like they're put away and nobody else has a chance to gain them. It's like, well, how'd they make champs? Oh, they got 30 points in that random minor we had online that we cut off in the middle of the year that nobody else had a chance to gain points off of. I don't know. It's weird. If you're gonna go in for this new system and like add this in, just go all in. Just put it in for every major right away.
Yeah. Like it's made it for only majors 1, 2. It's just not consistent for the rest of the majors.
It's so weird. Like, yeah, it's like you're admitting that you're not really sure if your idea is great. Like, just like have an idea and just stick to it.
Yeah. But what's the worst that could happen? It's not the best, but still extra matches and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that is a little interesting. Like, I don't love that. The next part, Brock. It says all 12 teams will compete in these minors in single elimination bracket. I don't love the single elim. I kind of get it because they don't want to like invest it in like they probably want to make it feel a little different than a major. Like they want to make the majors feel special by being double elim. I think that's what they're thinking. I don't
Yeah.
love the single elim because it is so fluky. It's not for a ton of CDL points, so it may not matter like that much.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like single elim is just always weird to me, and also like it's single elim, and the format is so weird because like there's not with single elim, there's not that many matches. Like I guess maybe 4 teams will have a bye,
Mhm.
and the other 8
Probably.
will play. The 4 winners will move on, and it'll be a bracket of 8. So like there aren't like a ton of matches in it, and it seems a little weird that it's going over the course of 3 days. Like that's a lot of time. There's gonna be like very few matches.
Yeah. I just don't get why
Uh,
we can't cram like a bunch of matches into one day. Because I'm sure a lot of viewers would like to sit down for maybe like 8 hours to watch it instead of like 4.
yeah, watch it like Saturday and Sunday, just cram a bunch in.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that would be interesting. Um, so seeding, minor 1 seeded by the standings after the December qualifier matches. That makes sense because that's the only matches you have to seed it based on. There's going to be no tournaments like major lands played before that, so that makes sense to me.
Yep.
And then minor 2 will be seeded using the major 1 standings. That seems to make sense to me too. If it happens right after, just like use it based on the land standings, which are usually the most accurate standings. Like we want to, weight land as much as possible. So that seems to make sense as well.
Mhm.
Uh, what's on the line? First place 30 points, second place 20 points, third place 10 points, fourth place 5 points. I'm a little iffy on this because I like making it matter for CDL points so teams will care about it more. The winner also receives 20K, so 5K each for player. Like That'll motivate the players a little bit. Obviously, I know it's not a lot of cash for them, but like 5K is a good amount of cash to win on a weekend just for winning some Call of Duty matches. Uh,
Not
but
bad.
yeah, I don't know. The points is a little weird because like I like that they're making it matter for something, but also at the same time, like, do we really want online to matter even more? That's what this is doing.
Yeah.
Like, if they have the same format where it's 7 matches online for 10 points per win, like let's say a team goes 7-0 and wins a minor, that's 100 points. It's like the same value you get for winning a LAN.
Mhm.
Like you could almost get the value you get for winning a LAN on like if you win like 5 matches, go 5-2, and then which 5-2 is very realistic. We see plenty of teams do it, and then you win the minor, you get 80 points. Like
A lot of points for CDL.
it's a lot of points for online matches.
Yeah. And we see in the past some teams are a lot better online than on LAN.
Yeah, we see like in the past teams get like 75+% of their uh of their points online, and this is just a chance to get more online points, which is not really the greatest.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess we'll see how this really works out. I hope it works out well. So it was from majors 1, 2, 3, and 4, not just 1 and 2 and scrap it.
Yeah, I really hope they don't scrap into that. That'd be a tough look for them.
Yeah, I'd just, oh, it doesn't work. We'll just take it out, even though it's not. Yeah, I don't like that
Uh,
part.
yeah, I don't either. Which Brock, then the match breakdown. CDL will have 246 matches, 160 online, 72 for the majors, 14 for postseason. Obviously, don't love that we're having a heavy online split again.
Yeah,
Because online COD just without the crowd, not as fun to watch. It isn't as real as LAN. Like you see teams crumble and teams excel online. So don't love once again that online is going to have a heavy weight. But I also like as much as people like to complain about online COD being a thing. I still, from the CDL standpoint, I still completely get why they do it. Like budget wise, they save so much money by doing the matches online
yep,
as opposed to like having like a situation like Columbus in World War II, like we had, where teams are flying out and they have to stay in apartments that the CDL has to fund, and they have to be there for weeks and they have to like fund this whole uh area for them to host the matches. They have to like rent that out or pay for that, and then like they do catering for the players and for the talent staff, and they have to do all that. Like I understand money wise completely why they do it online. Like I get why the CDL does it. It's just unfortunate because it's not nearly as entertaining and fun for us to watch.
yeah, agreed.
But if I was in charge of the CDL, I'd be doing the same thing. Like people are still gonna watch. It's still gonna garner good viewership, and we're saving so much money. Like from a business perspective, it makes complete sense.
Yeah, they're like not gonna not watch. It'd
Yeah, and
be
like
like,
it's one of my least favorite things about like when people complain about that format. It's like, yes, I understand. I wish every match could be on land, but also like I understand the business aspect, and I understand how little sense it makes for the CDL to host every match on land with how much money they would waste when we are very capable of playing online. As much as players may not like it, and I don't like it either, but like we are capable of having these matches online. I know there's some fluky stuff that happens, but it is possible.
mhm, yeah,
Um, Brock, then they have the locations below. Some cool locations this year. Barcelona is obviously awesome for our non North America fans.
that'd
Some
be,
of you over there in Europe getting much easier chance to go to an event in your continent. Allen, Texas. I'm assuming that's probably going to be in the same location where Champs was, which was an awesome venue.
oh
If
yeah,
you guys are in that area and didn't get a chance to go to Champs, absolutely go there. Wouldn't you say?
oh yeah, 100%. Just a nice, nice arena.
Yeah, and it was a cool vibe. Like the area around it was very nice too. There were some nice restaurants to go to, nice things to do. We went and did an escape room
Yep,
over right next to the venue. There was like little shops. It was a nice like little plaza by that venue. It was a nice place.
yep. It was
Um,
definitely. I would go back if we could.
yeah, 100%. I would go back to that area. There's a lot of stuff to do, good restaurants, just a good area to go to an event.
Yep.
And then Florida, Major Three, Miami, which to be honest is another awesome location. Like obviously Miami is like a cool place to visit. Florida, cool place to go, especially if you're people like us. Like if you're a CDL fan and looking to get away for a vacation, want to go to an event, and you're in like a cold weather state, like we are usually Major Three, I think, is usually still when it's relatively cold out. Maybe not though. Major Three might be more like April, May.
It's still it can be still cold.
Yeah, depending on where you are, it can still be cold if it's like April. But
Yeah.
like Major Three, Florida, always a cool destination, Florida to go to. And then Brock, what we're excited for, unconfirmed host. I don't know if it's like for sure going to happen or if they're just saying like we don't know what team is technically hosting it. Uh, but Chicago, Major Four, we may not be attending champs this year, Brock, because of that event.
Hmm. Chicago, nice little drive down there.
Yeah, we can just drive down there and don't have to pay for a flight. A lot easier. We have a car down there, nice and easy. Don't have to Uber to all the places we want to go. We
Yeah.
may be heading. We may miss champs this year, which is, I mean, that's completely okay to me. Obviously, we got to get our passports ready and go to Toronto if
Hmm.
we want to go to champs. But I'm pretty okay with missing champs for a year since we get to go to still get to go to a major, but save a lot of money going to Chicago as opposed to flying somewhere like we've had to for all the champs.
Yep. And Chicago's a nice place to go to. Check it out.
Screw it. Let's say that we hate the teams hosting champs, and let's try to get them to flip Chicago with a just a neutral host to champs.
Mm.
Let's tell them
Oh,
Toronto hosting unfair. OpTic did it. We saw how unfair it was. Toronto can't host. Let's move Chicago to champs so we
yep.
can go to champs.
Yep. Let's move it. It was so unfair. We'd have to move it.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Let's start the trend. Let's start the train for that. Uh, but all jokes aside, I am very excited for Chicago. I think we'll probably end up going to that event
Yep.
rather than Toronto, and it will be beautiful. Major Four will be like June,
Oh yeah.
May, June. The weather in Chicago at that time will be absolutely beautiful. Probably, honestly, we'll go to Chicago. We'll go down there, probably catch like a Cubs game or something. Go to
Probably
like a
yeah.
nice outdoor. I mean, summer baseball when you're from like a cold weather state, like outdoor summer baseball is just the best. Go tailgate, hang out. Probably at Wrigley. I've been to Wrigley before. I've never been to the White Sox stadium. The White Sox, like, literally were historically bad this year, so I don't know if we wanna go catch one of their games. They were, like, literally one of the worst teams of all time this year, but Cubs games are
Ne-
always fun, historic stadium, so maybe we'll catch, like, a Cubs game outside or something. Uh, but I'm really excited 'cause I'm gonna go ahead and assume as long as the location doesn't get changed, we'll probably end up going to Chicago. I'm excited for that.
Yep. Same here.
Uh
It's so far away. Still excited.
Yeah, I can't wait. I've basically got it marked down June. I'm assuming it'll be June. I'll be in Chicago for that.
Yep.
Uh, it'll also be fun because I think we'll get a lot for us personally. We'll get a lot bigger group to go most likely because like we have a few friends. Like one of like my cousin would love to go with us, but he's currently in college, so obviously you don't have a ton of money uh, in
Yeah.
college. So for like him to fly out to like Vegas or like Texas, like we've done, spend all that money on the Airbnb and food and everything, it's just not like the most realistic thing to spend like $1,000 on a vacation when you're in the middle of college. So like he can just drive down with us, pay for a little bit of the Airbnb, gas, like food and stuff. It's way cheaper than paying for a flight and all that. So we may have a few more friends. We might have a big group of 6+ people heading to the event in Chicago. That'll be really fun.
Yeah. That'd be really fun.
Um, all right, Brock, let's talk about the map set. Obviously, I think overall, you have anything else you want to like say on the CDL minors announcement? I think I'm very mixed because I'm very excited. It's more like tournament type content for us. So selfishly, I'm excited for that. But there are things I don't love. Like I don't love that it's online to make online matter more. I don't love single elim. But overall, I've seen a lot of negativity on it, and I'm just like, I understand all the negatives, but at the same time, like I'm just excited for more matches online that aren't just redundant regular season matches. There's like a little bit of like a tournament type feel to them at least.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited for that, and gotta have faith.
Yeah, let's see how it plays out and see how exciting they are before we just blindly hate on it too much.
You
Although I
just
do
can't.
get some of the distaste for it.
Yeah. You can't write it off without it being held quite yet.
Absolutely. All right, Brock, the current map set. So from what we've seen from like CDL Scrim Intel, from like scrims being posted, like I've seen like for Hardpoint, I've seen like Protocol, Red Card, Rewind, Skyline, Vault, all being played. On CMG, they have Verkuda listed as a hardpoint map, and I've heard people talking about it, but I haven't really seen it in like scrim screenshots. So I'm wondering if they kind of aren't playing that anymore. I haven't seen too much about it. So interesting thing about the hardpoint map set, I don't love it. Like I I guess they tried payback and pros didn't like it.
Maybe it was too small.
That has to be it, but like some of the maps that got in like protocol, like it seems so big and like the multi levels. I'm not a huge fan, and That seems to be in for both search and hardpoint, at least according to CMG rules. Red card seems to be in for both. That map is just so big. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Uh, Rewind, I don't think it's the worst map to have in there. It makes sense. I feel like that seemed like a competitive map when I played it.
Hmm.
Like I could see them putting in that one makes a little sense to me to be in both. Skyline makes sense. And I also think Vault makes sense. Like when I played that map right away, I said this will probably be in competitive. I just wish Payback was in. I know it's small, but like give me the bang out map. Payback seems like it's like my favorite map in the game. I love it.
Hmm.
Verkuda is still listed as a hardpoint and search map on CMG. That map is terrible. I hate that map.
Yeah, that map. I maybe only thing it would be for search, but even then, I don't really like it.
Yeah, I could see it more for search than hardpoint, but I'm not a fan. But interesting that the main five I've seen them screaming for hardpoint: Protocol, Red Card, Rewind, Skyline, and Vault. Yeah, I don't know. Red Card is just yikes. Much rather be playing Payback than that.
Yeah, red card is like from what we said before. Extremes, it's like Moscow and Cold War, and that was just it was okay, but it wasn't that fun. That fun to play.
Yeah, and it's just ugh. Yeah,
So
it's just so
big.
big. I don't want a map that's so big. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's what the best they tried for now.
For now, hopefully something comes in. Which speaking of that, there's like the new patch notes and like season one announcement today. They revealed like two of the 6v6 maps that are coming, and they did say like here are some of the maps or whatever. So there may be more, but they didn't reveal any like remake maps coming,
Yeah.
which is a bit scary because like we had heard about like like Fringe, like Hacienda, maybe Raid, like some of the older maps coming in. Which right now with how the maps are, those maps would come in and like hopefully like a Hacienda would come in. It would help save us. Like it'd be an instant search and destroy and hardpoint map
Hmm.
to insert. Same with like Fringe if they're able to figure out how to like incorporate the like houses like and stuff like the jetpack aspects. They're able to kind of like figure out how to mitigate those and make it work better for a non-jetpack game.
Yeah.
But we saw those 2 maps. We don't really know if they're gonna be good for competitive because from what I saw, we didn't get, like, a full, like, overhead shot or, like, mini map picture of them.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, interesting there. Also, in terms of the patch, Brock, damage range buffs for SMGs to improve their mid-range effectiveness, damage range nerf for ARs, and nerf to close range headshots. Spawn logic tuning across several maps, which they said they'll keep working on. Flashbangs were nerfed a little bit for how like long you're flashed, and then snaking was nerfed. So some good sounding changes.
Yep.
Pubs wise, the recon specialist was nerfed, less time to see through walls.
That
Uh,
that should be even like less.
yeah, I thankfully we don't have to deal with that in competitive, but I was being accused of hacking because I had to put that on for like one of the pistols. Like you had to do like 50 kills with the recon thing on, and
Yeah.
like I was just like pre-firing a guy around the corner because like I could see him when I spawned, and he just kept saying that I could see him through walls, and I was aiming, like where he was coming from. He just kept
Hmm.
typing in chat like he would be like, "This guy's cheating. This guy's cheating. This guy's cheating." Like 4 people on your team are cheating, and I was like, "I don't think this guy knows about the recon thing." Kind of funny.
Surprisingly, yeah.
Kind of funny. Feels like
It's
everybody's using it.
legit walls, as we like to call it.
Yeah, it's literally legal walls in the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh, but some interesting changes. Like obviously, it's been talk all over the CDL community, but like the SMGs in comparison to the ARs, just like literally can't compete. And they did buff them today and nerf the ARs. So I'm interested to see if that impacts things at all. I'm assuming it's not going to be ARs. Are probably still going to be better.
Yeah, I would
Uh,
absolutely agree.
a couple funny things. Brock, we said it might be a little shorter episode. A couple funny things to just kind of finish up with. Dak, challenger player playing with Arcitys currently, he was slamming a Miller Lite on stage next to his setup. He had the Miller Lite, and people were like, "This dude's crazy drinking a Miller Lite." I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Uh, just like something I never thought I'd see. Like I know there are people that are like, "Oh, like Dan Ghosty," like, "Oh, I play better when I'm high," or like you always hear like people like there's like pubs people that like you'll play with that are like, "Yeah, I like had a couple beers. I feel like I'm shooting straighter."
It's a
And it was
casual.
yeah, it's like a casual, like, chilling thing, playing some pubs, like, it's like the classic thing you think of, like a dad sitting down and it's his relaxing time and he cracks a beer and drinks. It's hilarious that he was just playing in like a legit like local tournament, like kickoff tournament type thing, challengers tournament, and was just slamming a Miller Lite. That is just hilarious. I love it.
That is just it's just funny. I'm assuming there's no rule to it.
I'm kind of like, yeah, I guess like I'd be kind of surprised like on the CDL level though. Like I feel like
Yeah,
it'd be
maybe
like a
some things are
sponsorship thing. Like
local.
either would they want it like covered up if you were drinking it, like they wouldn't want just like somebody drinking a beer for underage audience, and also like because like they're not sponsored by like Miller Lite, Bud Light, like whatever you were drinking.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I wonder if there would be in the CDL. Like if shottzyy I mean, shottzyy doesn't drink, but like if somebody like if Dashy walks out on stage with a Miller Lite, like would they like say you can't have that? I wonder. Probably
Yeah.
in the rule book.
Probably is, yeah. But something funny you see, some I never thought of competitively.
It was hilarious.
Beer.
It was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. Shout out Dak for that.
Yeah, it's funny. And then Brock, our last thing I had down, Crimsix finished second in the tourney. He was playing with Scrap and stuff, and he finished second. He still got it. He beat a lot of like teams of 4 CDL players, and he made it all the way to the finals. And they ended up losing. I think they got blown out. I saw on like a hard point they were like rage quitting because they were getting killed so bad. But shout out to Crimsix. I saw some clips and he was shooting in the clips. I saw like getting three pieces and stuff.
Mhm.
No shock, but Crimsix, still got some talent left in him after not playing for a little bit as he is going ahead and pursuing his racing career.
Yep. And we're not shocked by that at all. He has the most championships for a
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah. So shout out to Crim, still competing. Also, Brock, I guess one more thing that's random esports news, not related to COD. I'm assuming you saw this over the weekend, but Faker
I did
won
see.
the League of Legends World Championship. I believe that was his fifth World
Jeez.
Championship. And I may have seen this wrong. Thought I saw he's only played in like 9 or 10. That could be completely wrong. Once again, if you're inform us in the comments if you're somebody that watches League.
Yes,
Brock and
please.
I've never
We
played
don't.
League. I
I've
know
never
nothing
played
about it. Like
either.
I literally couldn't tell you a champion or a hero. I think it's champion in that game. Like a name of any of them. I know nothing about League. I've never played, never watched it. I think actually I would probably like the game a lot. I just heard so many people say that like they get into it and they can't stop playing it, so I don't even want to try it because I think I would be one of those people that I would like start playing it and I would just like want to get better because I mean I know the game's good. It's like one of the most popular games in the world.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's like a strategy game, so I know it would be like something that I would really like, but never played, like, don't know anything about it, but I know that Faker is a legend, like, you always hear about him, and 5 world championships in, like, however many attempts he has. I thought I saw it was only 9 or 10 appearances at Worlds, which obviously that not saying, like, only, like, that's a small amount, that's a lot of appearances because I think it's really hard to qualify for League Worlds.
Hmm.
Um, Obviously not for them because their team is dominant, but 5 world championships is insane.
Yeah. That just overall for how much he has. 5 out of however many is still really, really good.
I think they said he went back to back now, like his team won back to back, and like I think you get like a skin in the game for winning worlds, and they're like he has like a skin on like 5 different champions or something now.
Jeez.
Like yeah, I could be completely butchering that because obviously, like I said, we know nothing about League, but I do know that Faker's a legend. I'm assuming he's obviously the goat of League. Like
Hmm.
this dude is insane. Like 5 world championships, I saw that, and like I said, I know nothing about League, but I saw that and I was like, damn, like that is impressive.
Yeah, it really is. Just thinking about it more and more.
Who do you think will be the first person to 5 rings, Brock? Will anybody ever hit that in COD?
Oh man.
Or who do you think? I mean, who do you think has the best chance to hit 5 rings? Obviously, our candidates, currently Clay now out of the running with his retirement. Sad. So there are no active members of the 3 Rings Club. I don't know if
Yep.
you saw my tweet. Did you see my tweet when Clay retired? From
Uh,
the podcast count, it was Clay, I believe, unless I was thinking wrong. Clay is the only person to win
yes,
a
I
world
saw that
championship
one.
on all 3 developers.
Yep, I
I
did
believe
see
that's
that
true
one.
because Krim was the IW Reaper. He won on Ghost, IW, and MW19, so he won on 3 Infinity Ward titles.
Hmm.
Karma won on, I believe, 2 Infinity Wards and a Treyarch. He won on BO2, IW, and Ghost. So he won on 2 Infinity Wards and a Treyarch. And then Clay won on uh, AW, which was Sledge. BO4, which is Treyarch, and then MW19, which is Infinity Ward. So I believe Clay, only person to win on a world championship on each developer.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting, like random stat that I hadn't seen tweeted. So I was like just thinking in my head and I tweeted that out. Just unofficial stats from Ryan. I tweeted it out and I was like, here we go. I think this is accurate.
Yeah.
But anyways, who do you think best chance to make it to 5 rings? I don't know if anybody will ever get there, but like obviously Simp and Abeezy are top candidates because they are tied for the lead of active players with rings with 2.
It is, and they're still pretty young.
Yeah, you would think Selly and Madraza would be on there, but obviously they're a little bit lower on the list because they only have the 1 that they're starting with, even though they're on that team.
Hmm.
Um,
I would
Kenny's up
say,
there, but I
I'd
don't
say
think Kenny will play long enough to get 5.
he might if they keep having good teams. keep doing good.
Yeah. You would maybe put Hydra up there because he only has 1, but like he's the best player in the game. So
Shottzyy definitely up there.
yeah, I kind of forgot. Yeah, Shottzyy definitely up there with 2, and a player that's still like I think of like Shottzyy, Hydra, like players that are top players in the game and don't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. I mean, like even that, like you say that and you're like, man, Hydra could have an amazing career, win 2 more rings, and he's still only at 3, and we're talking about getting to 5.
Uh, If I like have a player that might actually get there, I'd probably have to go with Simp.
Yeah, I feel like Simp's gonna win at least 1 more, which would put him at 3, and I don't know if anybody I should say that's currently playing is going to get over 3 because a lot of the guys with 2 at this point, like it doesn't seem like it's still in my head like Simp and Abeezy are young players, but I mean Abeezy's been technically in like the pro level since World War II, and Simp's been in since BO4, and like as much as that doesn't seem like a long time ago, that's already 6+ years ago.
Yeah,
And in terms of CDL careers, 6+ years is a long time. I mean, like if you play like 10+ years, that's a very long career,
yeah. But yeah, like you
especially
said,
top.
yeah. Don't know if anyone will actually get there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say in terms of current active players we see, yeah, I don't think anybody's getting to 5 rings. I think like it would be insane if somebody got to 4.
Yeah,
That would be insane if Simp and Abeezy win like 2 more, or Shottzyy and Kenny find a way to win 2 more together. Like that would be absurd. Because
yeah.
like I mean, we've seen duos, win world championships before. Have we seen anybody win like? I'm trying to think of the people that won multiple rings. Well, Crim and Karma have won 2 rings together. Uh, Simp and Abeezy have obviously won 2 rings together. I'm trying to think of how many people even like have won 2 rings with like another teammate. It's okay. We don't need to go too much into detail, but yeah, it's interesting
Hmm. Yeah.
to say the least. All right, Brock, you got anything else before we wrap this one up?
Um, no, just excited to play some more COD and get on my dark matter grind.
Yeah. Next time I play here, probably going to be working on marksman rifles, which I hate. I hate semi-auto weapons. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's going to do it for this one. Have fun on your camo grind if you guys are playing, or just in general, if you're playing pubs, you're playing tournaments, have fun. uh if you guys enjoy this one, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. If you're on the audio platforms, drop a follow, drop a 5-star review. We appreciate your guys' support as always. And I guess next podcast, Brock, we will be talking about what we saw in that tournament that Kesan's throwing, so that's really exciting to talk about.
Yep.
So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we will see you in the next one.